while we're sitting around wringing our hands saying, wow, what are they doing? You better stop wringing your hands, pick up your phone, and tell your senator, tell your representative, if you vote for this, you're out. You're out. If you vote for this, you're gone. You're gone. I don't know what they did today, but today was the day they were supposed to take the vote. Friends, that's what we're facing. This is not by accident, this is by design. They're pushing this culture. Listen, and the young people, and I don't see very many in here. I'm talking about the 25-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds. Where are they? They're just going along to get along. They've been dumbed down. That's what's happening. They don't know the Declaration of Independence, and they don't know what's in the Constitution. Oh, is that in the Constitution? Yes, it is. It's in the Constitution that we can get rid of activist judges. You knew that though, didn't you? Why haven't we done it? These activist judges have been tapping and pulling away at the Constitution for years, and we have said nothing. The way you get rid of activist judges is you go to your representative in the House of Representatives and say, impeach them, get them out, and get them out now. Impeach them and get them out now. It hasn't happened though, because we don't know that's in the Constitution. That's what's in there. And we can get rid of these activist judges. Yes, we can. These people who are ascribing to international law to interpret our Constitution. What is that? But an attempt to try to marginalize and to get rid of the Constitution, folks. Listen, I know that there's a lot of people saying these birthers, you know, the president didn't produce his birth certificate. Do you know that that's a constitutional issue? And we ought to demand, that he brings out the real deal. And if he doesn't bring it out, we, the people, will remove him from office. But when you're going to the judges, and the judges are saying, well, you don't have standing here. You tell them, you shut up and move to the side. I know that sounds audacious, but I got some constitutional basis for that. In the Declaration of Independence, it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator, God, with certain inalienable rights. Among them, don't miss that, among them, meaning there's far more than the three that I'm about to list. Among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men and derive their just power from the consent of the governed. Do you hear me? They govern us at our consent. And if they stop governing us according to our consensus, then it says that we have a right to alter or abolish. And if these guys insist on tapping away at our Constitution, we have a right to alter or abolish. Listen, Mark LeVay says this. He says, conservatism is the antidote to tyranny, precisely because its principles are the founding principles. Hello. He just gave to us exactly what we need to stop this foolishness. We need to return back to the founding principles of this land. We need to get back to it. Let me tell you, you grandmothers and you grandfathers, you go back to your grandchildren and you begin to inform them that they have a duty, a stewardship responsibility to take care of these liberties that you have fought for in WW1 and WW2. And in the conflicts that we have fought in, we have fought for these liberties and they are taking them away from us, and we need to resist them. We need to push back. Push back. Push back. Don't let them take it. We in America must recognize that these two worldviews are mutually exclusive from one another. Each view produces a wholly different approach to governance. Just as water and gasoline does not mix, these two worldviews do not mix. When one is in play, the other cannot be applied. How you start a thing determines how you finish. The framers of our nation started with a Judeo-Christian worldview. What they constructed for our nation was designed to protect this republic from tyranny and anarchy. Tyranny is an oppressive, unjust government, a cruel and unjust use of power and authority. Anarchy is the complete absence of government, political disorder and lawlessness. These two political extremes contradict fully the worldview of the framers. So, what we are witnessing in our culture today is a manifestation of a titanic struggle between these two worldviews. We must recognize what we're up against so that our responses are appropriate, focused, and targeted towards a result that will rescue this republic from the godless socialists who would rob us of our God-given unalienable rights. The remedy to this problem, the remedy to this assault is a constitutional one. We must engage our representatives and senators at both the state and national level and demand that they fulfill their constitutional duty, or we will send them home. We cannot assume that these people will do what is right, nor can we afford to abdicate our responsibility to hold these people accountable. We must engage them every day with phone calls and letter writing campaigns until we get the results that are best for our children and our grandchildren. We must be vigilant and we must work until we get the results we want. We have been given the right to fight for our unalienable rights, these rights that are given to us by God. And as the founder says, that to secure these rights, governments have been instituted, and the institution of these governments are simply to secure our liberties. That's it. They are there to secure them and to protect them from foreign and domestic terror. And if these folks are not doing it, then we need to kick them out. As simple as that. Folks, I mentioned the word Fabian. Fabianists have been around for a long time. It started in Britain with the intellectual socialist movement, whose purpose was to advance the principles of social democracy via gradualist and reformist rather than revolution and bullets. They said we can do it if we just take our time and win the day. Friends, if we don't do something quick, they're going to win the day. There's a very small window that's available to us right now. It's between now and November 2010. But there's some things that could happen between now and then, and I don't mean to be an alarmist. I just want you to pay attention, to make sure that you're paying attention. If between now and the end of December, the president goes to Copenhagen and signs a treaty for the climate control and the redistribution of our wealth to third world nations, because we're responsible for creating, quote unquote, CO2 problems in the world. He will sign a treaty that will bankrupt America. And the treaty, according to the Constitution, trumps the Constitution. We will be on a slippery slope, and there will be no way to turn it around. The second thing, if they pass this health care program, and Americans take to the street in vocal opposition, the president can call for martial law. And in martial law, he can terminate the elections. Do you hear me? And if he terminates the election, he will determine when to bring it back. And he'll bring it back after everything is in place that he wants. There's something that we can do. I know that's a hard message, but I believe there's something we can do. We are still the people.